never know. You never know.
Hi, how you doing, folks? Dave Olney here. You never know, and back from the Big Apple, New York City. Had a good time up there. Thanks to Folk Alliance and CBG at the CBGB Fest, New York City, and thanks to Catherine Bloss. Is that right? Bloss. Sorry. Diana Jones and Paul Sachs, who came out to hear me play over there. And okay, so coming up, October 25th, the showroom in Spartanburg, South Carolina, home of a million people. Marshall Chapman, Peter Cooper, Walter Hyatt, Champ Hood, David Ball, the list goes on and on. Pink Anderson, and as if this weren't enough. Whatever. And then August 26th, 40 acres, that's like a house. What? October 26th, in Durham, North Carolina. Okay, and then October 30th, 30 days, that's the day before Halloween. Wham Fest in at Farley Dickinson University with Tommy Lunsford and got down and Roseanne Cash and Loudon Wainwright will be performing at that also. So there you have that. Okay, let me see. Oh, here's the poster from that's a nice one, isn't it? The Mark Pickles Gherkin production. All right, so here's a song. I haven't done this in a while. Hope I can stumble through this. It's called Stonewall. It's about Stonewall Jackson. Basically, his last words were really cool, and they're the chorus of this song. Oh, my Virginia, asleep in the sun. My work is finished. My work is done. The battle is over. The cannon are still. I must go home now. Home to your hills. Let me cross over the river and let me rest in the shade of the trees. I was a child once I was young. My body grew hard, my body grew strong. First into battle, fearless and cold. Now I am weary, now I am old. Let me cross over the river and let me rest in the my Bible, chapter and verse. I fought with a vengeance against all the odds. The victory was sweet, the glory was God's. Let me cross over the river, and let me rest in the shade of the trees. Let me cross over the river, and let me rest in the shade of the trees. All right, Stonewall. It's close to his last words. Let us cross over and rest in the shade of the trees. Let us cross over the river. It's pretty close to exactly what he said. So he got killed at the Battle of Chancellorsburg and accidentally shot by Confederate troops. And before that, he just scared the hell out of the federal forces, and because he kept threatening to whip into Washington and take everybody prisoner. And an interesting guy. But before the war, he loved to go to New York City. He thought that was a great place. And he's kind of a deeply religious guy. I don't know, just an interesting character. And so there you go. There's that. And let me see. I wanted to do the reading from the baseball. The Book of Baseball. This, of course, is Ripley's, believe it or not, 2005 Baseball Media Guide with Robert Ripley of the New York Giants from 1914. That in itself is unbelievable, believe it or not. Okay. Here we go. John Lubinsky of Minneapolis caught his own pop fly during July 1927. He hit the ball and while running to first base fell down, and as he was getting up, the ball landed in his pocket. I find that hard to believe, but then that's believe it or not. Here's one. Mandy McMichael of Florence, Italy. Now see, it's already weird, isn't it? How many people named McMichael live in Florence, Italy? But, okay. Mandy McMichael of Florence, Italy could put an entire baseball into her mouth. That's shocking. And possibly pornographic. Minor League Baseball was at a peak in 1949 with 59 leagues and 448 teams. That year, 39,640,448 fans attended minor league games, a record that stood until 2004 when 39,887,755 fans showed up at minor league parks. Now, this is big to me. Not big, but interesting. One of the differences between baseball and football is baseball takes a lot of its money and puts it back into basically research and development, which is the minor leagues. Costs a lot of money, and they have all these minor league teams. They have one in Nashville, Tennessee, the Nashville Sounds. That's the mothership developing the future. Football, on the other hand, just uses colleges for their minor league team. And same with basketball. And this is a big deal to me because that's the way economically things used to run in this country. There was a lot of research and development, and then they decided that that just cost too much money. So instead of investing in the future, they just go around and try to cut costs of what they're doing right now. And eventually you end up with a crappy product. And as a nation, we fall behind the other nations of the world because they're out doing research and development. So baseball, yes! Okay. There seems like there was something else. Oh, yeah, hey, the the crowdsourcing, fundraising, da-doo-da thing that is coming up, we're going to be offering valuable gifts. For instance, my walking staff that I used in the poetry reading of The Rime of the Ancient Mariner. At one point, I was actually talking to the stick itself. I was deeply moved and burst into tears, I think, at some point. Okay, so there's that. You can get a stick. And how about this? This is, jacket, C&W jacket that I wore when I did these boots are made for walking and a bunch of gigs. And if you don't believe that, take a whiff of that. It's been unwashed, and you're going to enjoy this for many seconds to come. And this hat, which I got this in Austin, Texas, and wore it live, and it's on a bunch of posters. And okay, this is just part of the unbelievable treasure trove of gifts that we are offering when we hit you up for money. So there you have it. Be still my heart. I'm so excited. Okay, until next week, I'll see you later. Take care. Oops, keep that off. And okay, bye-bye.
You never know. You never know.